Boom, 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 boom. I'm steady trying to find a motive. Why do what I do? Freedom ain't getting no closer, no matter how far I go. My car is stolen, no registration, cops patrolling. And now they're gonna stop me, and I get locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. No, they won't let me out. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. Oh, they won't let me out. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. No, they won't let me out. Heading uptown to Ria, back with a couple of keys. 'Cause the block's on fire. Undercovers dressed as fiends. Making so much money. Riding up smooth and fast. Putting away the stash, and I just sold the last bag. Effed up and got locked up. They won't let me out. Alright. When I'm actually reading the lyrics off a screen, it's addicting. Anyway, here's a video I should have been done a long time ago because I told a guy I would do it. This is Andre from Texas, also known as HSCNS, Horizon City News Service. Here's a video from Idaho Falls Police. This is some lady cop, overzealous lady cop. Please go to Horizon City News Service and subscribe like I have right here. Hit the thumbs up. So, Idaho Falls. Couple of cops here, a female, overzealous female cop, and her partner. And it's one of those blinky light things, you know. We get to impede your Fourth Amendment because of a blinky light. That's where we're at in America. The Fourth Amendment gets suspended, and you get to get money stolen from you if you don't use a blinky light on your own private property, traveling your own roads that you pay for.
Down the windows?
No, thank you.
Can you roll down the back window for me?
No, thank you. See, I don't know the law in Idaho, but in Florida, no need to roll your window down. And this is the perfect time not to roll your window down, and you're going to see why. This is why it's really smart to have the Fair DUI flyer, fairdui.org. Look up your state, see what the laws are for a traffic stop, because if they didn't roll the windows down at all, they threw the flyer in the window, all the actions would have been against the police officers. Instead, you're going to see what happens here.
Hi, guys. So I stopped you because I had seen
Hi, guys. Pretend friendly voice. I stopped you over a blinky light.
No, what's turning on here? You didn't turn on your signal?
You didn't turn on your blinky light, therefore no more Fourth Amendment until I'm through extorting money from you because I'm armed on the side of the road. We have the weaponized car and the weaponized costume. You understand? Freedom doesn't exist for you currently. You don't just get to roll around and not put on your blinky light. Who do you think you are? Some type of free American?
Do you have your driver's license, registration, and insurance?
Again, in Florida, you can show all those things through the window without rolling the window down and without speaking to the police officer. FS 322.15. You hear that, Floridians? Don't let this happen to you.
Is there a problem?
Is there a problem? No. I thoroughly enjoy being stopped, my freedom being impeded by armed gunmen in the middle of the night, shining flashlights in my car. Why would there be a problem? You don't see a problem?
I know, but you still need a signal. I'll change in direction. Okay, well, it's not a big deal, okay? I just want to say...
It's not a big deal. Then why are armed men and women impeding my freedom and telling me to surrender my Fourth Amendment if it's not a big deal? If it's not a big deal, why are you threatening violence and kidnapping if it's not a big deal? If it's not a big deal, why wouldn't you just obey your oath to the Constitution and not enforce victimless crimes and try to score stats because you think you're cool now that you're a cop and you need to rank up in the force?
Driver's license, registration, and insurance.
Get one more.
2-2. Can I get 2?
Get one more. So immediately, if you're not licking boots, they need more gunmen there. We need more guns on the scene. These blinky light terrorists are not licking our boots immediately. They think they're free Americans, and I don't know. We're going to have to teach them a lesson here. So let's get a few more guns on scene.
I just want to see your driver's license, registration, and insurance.
It's not a big deal. Just hand over your slave paperwork and your slave card, and I'll steal some money from you, and then we'll pretend like you have freedom again until the next time your blinky light doesn't come on. Has anyone seen a vehicle drive by, any car, anyone else, anywhere, driving by anywhere that this guy needed to signal for? Usually you signal to alert the person behind you what you're going to do so he can anticipate and have plenty of time to safely not rear-end you. There is zero traffic here. They're completely, even the stop itself is, you have to cop-splain to even justify it because there's no traffic. She's just trying to go through the motions to become the next corporal, sergeant, whatever, sovereign citizen that they are. And if they ever do anything wrong, they investigate themselves. That would mean they're sovereign from the rest of us, in case you morons. And again, this is something that Creamfield Donut, Mike the Sovereign Cop, and Caps for Cops, Josh Ingram, they all think that this is what they took an oath to do. Of course my battery power's down. Why wouldn't it be?
So I can check your identity. This is what we do on traffic stops.
We're code 4, not.
This is what we do on traffic stops. You see, you hand over your slave paperwork. We pretend like we're obeying our oath. We steal money from you. And then under threat of violence, you have to show up in a court that you don't agree to, where everyone works for the same person and is against you, and you stand pretty much no chance of winning. This is how it works here in the free country. Hello? Don't you see my shiny badge?
Emergency if we just have a driver being non-compliant.
No. I'm sorry you feel that way, but part of my job is to enforce traffic laws.
I'm sorry you feel that way. He probably told her that something along the lines of, how come I don't have freedom in my own country? And she's like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but part of my job is to extort money from the citizens. We take about $7 billion a year, and then the insurance companies give us radar guns to take even more money from you every year. No conflict of interest there, right, guys? You're a disgusting scumbag. When you took oath to the Constitution, you believe your job is to impede the freedom of Americans for blinky lights and steal their money. That's what you believe your job is when you swore an oath to the Constitution. You're an imbecile, lady.
You violated one in front of me.
You violated a traffic code in front of me. Constitution right out the window. Hand over your slave paperwork. This is how it works in America. Hello? Where have you been? You think you have freedom? Duh.
Okay. Well, there's also laws. And one of those laws is that...
That's not... Okay, again. Traffic code is not law. It's code. Traffic code. Not traffic law. Big difference.
When you are on a traffic stop, you need to provide identification to law enforcement.
Most states, you need to display, which can be done with the window rolled up. Again, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and you're going to see they took more than a mile in this situation. If I were ever shut the hell up and let you watch it, right? For all you haters that are like, would you shut up already? Here, dude, before you say anything stupid in my comments, go to Horizon City News Service and watch this video for yourself. And subscribe to him. Okay? Now you're ruining it for everybody else. I'm going to try to let this play.
You guys live here, you said?
Not at the moment. Vehicle's turned off. driver still being non-compliant.
Now she just messed up to two. First of all, she said traffic laws again instead of traffic codes. Secondly, he's talking about the right to travel. In other words, have freedom to move around the country in your private property. And she thinks the right to, and then she says the right part of the right to travel is that you obey traffic laws. First of all, traffic codes are commercial codes. They're not laws. Commercial code. In other words, if you're engaged in commerce, which truck drivers, taxi drivers, cargo drivers, passenger drivers are engaged in commerce, those are drivers. Private people in their own private property are not drivers in the commercial sense. This is something that needs to come to the forefront and needs to come to a head, and it needs to pop, because there's two sides to this. There is history, there's case law, there's everything to back up the right to travel by private people. We pay for the roads. We are private. The roads are our private property. And if you're engaged in commerce, like truck drivers or anybody turning a profit on our roads, then you have to register your commercial vehicle and register as a driver and blah, 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 blah. Who is this? Okay. Get to you later.
So he's refusing to provide any identification.
So he's refusing to surrender his Fourth Amendment rights because of a blinky light.
Same. Either you can provide me your information, or we're going to pull you out of the car.
Okay, you can provide me your slave paperwork and your slave card, or we're going to escalate violence against you over a blinky light. This is what I swore an oath to.
It's going to be very difficult.
What's that? Yes, that is true. So, listen, man, do you want to come out or no? All right.
Okay. Step out.
Turn around.
So now over a blinky light they claimed was no big deal. Now they have hands on another human being. What in the world? Who keeps texting me?
What's the deal, man? Doesn't have to be like this.
I didn't do anything.
Hey, you failed.
Now tell me this isn't the rapist mentality right here. It doesn't have to be like this. That's like you go up to a hot chick and be like, I want to have sex with you. Don't resist me. You know, it doesn't have to be violent. Just volunteer your body up to me. Even though you haven't done anything to anybody, I don't have the right to touch you. You haven't victimized or damaged anybody. You know, just give it up to me. Don't make me do this the hard way. This is police and rapist mentality. Listen to this guy.
Signal. Okay.
I didn't fail the...
What's the deal, man? Doesn't have to be like this.
I didn't do anything.
Hey, you failed the signal. Okay.
I didn't fail the signal.
Yes, you did. You failed the
signal. No more constitutional rights. You hear me? Now. That's just like a rapist. You're dressed like a slut. So we could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way.
Signal at the stop sign, and you failed the signal when you parked. All right? We're talking about an infraction. Doesn't have to be...
Yeah, we're talking about a code infraction. He hasn't broken any laws. You're violating your oath. And now you're going to pull the rapist. It doesn't have to be this way. Then don't make it this way. You created the conflict. You created the stop. You were violating your oath. These people were just traveling in their car. By definition, by realistic definition, they were doing nothing wrong. You're the one acting like a rapist. And you think because of blinky light, it justifies you putting hands on a person and kidnapping somebody because of a blinky light. You're the one escalating everything, dude. This guy just wants to go home to his family and not get hurt, kidnapped, or killed by police. We're just trying to make it home at night, cops.
Big deal. But you're making it one.
I'm not making any kind of deal.
Yeah? You're not providing.
Listen, you're making this rape a big deal. If you just let me rape you real quick with your slave card, let me steal some of your money under threat of violence, it'll go much faster. But if you try to stand on your constitutional rights and you try to hold me to my oath, we're going to have to just force our will upon you. If that's not the rapist mentality, what is? Again, this is going to be a two-parter or something here, of course. I can't do this for an hour. It's going to take me a year and a half to do one video.
Your driver's license. Okay. It's a traffic stop. You're required to provide identification.
Listen, do you have anything on you illegal that's going to stick me, poke me, stab me? No. Okay, go ahead, separate your feet for me. So there is a knife. I asked if you had anything on you, stick me, poke me, stab me. A knife includes one of those.
Open the door. Open the door.
Now he's getting violent with the passenger. I think this is the McCannon girl. I'm supposed to call you, and I'm going to call you. I promise. Now he's pounding on the window and getting violent with her. For what?
Or
Please stop. Because now obstructing. He's now obstructing an investigation, which is a misdemeanor.
Now again, this is an escalation of the rape. You don't want to hand over your slave card? You don't want to give me sex? Now I'm going to have to take it from you. You don't want to give me your slave card and your earnings? Now we're going to have to take it from you by force. And if you try to resist us, we're going to escalate like a rapist would punch the woman in the face. So now here's a punch to the face. They're going to escalate it to a misdemeanor.
A traffic violation, yes. A little infraction is what he turned into this.
A little infraction is what you turned into this. He was trying to get home alive without being harassed, impeded, or his constitutional rights violated. You guys initiated all this. Again, if this isn't the rapist mentality, what is? It's like going up to a woman going, you know you dress that way because you want it, and I'm going to take it from you. Don't turn a little sexual act for 30 seconds into a full-on raping and a beating like these cops are doing right now. You guys are disgusting. This is your blue line culture right here. Look who's escalating what. And they keep escalating, and they keep blaming it on the travelers who are trying to get home alive. In one piece without being kidnapped, extorted, raped, or beaten, or killed by police. The biggest enemy to the American people on the streets are these guys right here.
What's that in your pocket right there, man? I have no idea. You know what that is? Looks like just some keys.
No, that's probably what it is. Just some keys. And key fob.
Alright, go ahead and lean back for me a little bit. No other knives or anything like that on you?
Nope.
Okay.
does he have a wallet?
No.
Thought I saw one in his back pocket.
That's a phone. Alright, so obviously right now you are being detained. You're obstructing
Looks like
an investigation.
Burnside.
Yeah, I know him from somewhere. He's just
Obstructing an investigation into a Blinky light. Dude, if you're a cop and you're like this, you're just like a rapist. You're a rapist. If you're this petty and you use this to violate your oath, where there's not, have anyone seen a car drive by or anything, any traffic whatsoever? These cops are out hunting people, hunting to make stats, hunting to get a higher score, to get that stripe so they can prestige in the police force. This is disgusting. If you can't see right through what's going on here, you're a moron.
Joshua Burnside? That's what I figured.
You got a warrant, man. Is that why you weren't telling us your name? Well, then why would you not tell us your name?
I didn't say I wouldn't tell you my name.
Okay.
Yeah, you refused.
No, I didn't.
It would have been, I was going to give you a warning, and you turned this into a much bigger deal than...
I was just going to bend you over and bang you real quick and steal a little bit of your money. But now you're turning this into a full-fledged raping, and now we have to escalate and start using violence against you and going hands-on. You see what you did, you slut?
Will you send us a photo of that and also run Joshua Burnside?
Jump in the car and check the RO on mobile. Alright, well, so you never say you refuse to give us your name, so what is your name? Josh Burnside. What's your date of birth? questions about what's going on?
Hey, is her name Lauren?
Nope.
Okay.
You know you don't have any questions, or no, that's not Lauren? Both. Okay. What's going on is my fucking house is being targeted and harassed. Which
Targeted?
house is yours? This one. This one?
1310.
Yep. Oh,
Harassed by who?
you guys.
Really?
You are? Who you being harassed by? You guys. Oh, really? What a coincidence that they happen to have him stopped right by his house. What? Really? We're harassing you? It's almost like they targeted him or seeked them out.
Is this Lauren?
Okay.
That's what he thinks.
Where is he going?
Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah, she needs to.
Boom! Now they just conspired right there. 2 or more people looking to commit a crime. The vehicle was stopped when they came up. They don't know if she had her seatbelt on or not. So now they're looking for a reason to violate her Fourth Amendment right and get her slave card, aka her information. See how they just conspired there? Most people would miss that right there. Yeah, man, now we got to figure out a way to ID this chick, so let's say seatbelt regardless. Another unconstitutional oath-violating law. I mean, code. Seatbelt laws are unconstitutional. Most traffic laws where there's no victim or no damages or trespassing, most of those are unconstitutional.
Whoops. Yeah, she wasn't, so she needs to ID too.
Pig coward. Pig coward. Pig coward. Oh.
Okay. Should we charge him for the change check?
Now they're conspiring again. And of course, right away, you could tell this is a seasoned scumbag tyrant who immediately mutes his camera or does something or shuts it off. How come you're not discussing what you're going to do on camera? This is supposed to be public record. You're supposed to be public servants. Boy, oh boy, he sure has quick control of what he puts on that camera on audio and what he doesn't. Isn't that a coincidence there?
State, ma'am.
No state is. You have to
Can I get some ID from you? I don't have to give you my ID.
You were wearing a seatbelt. Yes, you do.
That's an infraction.
There you go. So that's what they decided. He muted the camera. Let's get this guy with obstruction. Let's get her to ID by claiming she wasn't wearing a seatbelt. They have no idea of knowing if he stopped and then she took off her seatbelt. They're just going to say it because they have to violate your Fourth Amendment right and know who you are. They can't. That is their biggest pet peeve, and that is the number one thing we should be fighting for. Don't ever ID unless you absolutely are required by law to do so.
And you need to give me your ID.
No, I don't need to give you my ID.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Do we need to pull you out of
Okay,
the car?
you're going to end up in the same situation.
Do we need to use violence against you too and kidnap you like we did your other guy who did nothing to no one? Hello? Don't you see our costumes? We're Blue ISIS.
Oh,
He's
I
in.
don't have to give you my ID.
Okay.
Because I don't have to.
I just told you, you failed to identify yourself.
You know I wasn't
You weren't wearing a seatbelt
I've been
because you haven't been a
for a while.
seatbelt since we were over here.
How do you know that?
Because I was on the passenger side this whole time.
Liar.
We're about to break your window.
Go
Ma'am,
to...
open the door over.
There's that window and then get glass all over me and hurt me like that.
Listen.
She
Listen.
did not want his window broken.
Some douchebag just did a 3-2-1 count like a loser. 3-2-1 or we're going to start using violence against you. You weren't wearing a strap. We lied and conspired off camera. But here we go. Time to get buck wild on an innocent person.
Please unlock your door.
Just open the door.
Wow, I hope all of you get in deep shit. Don't give me the 1-2 countdown anyway.
Okay, step out of the car.
Bullshit.
Well, if you're going to act like a kid, we got to treat you like
I'm
one.
not acting like a kid.
Okay. Douchebag. I'm trying not to cuss. This douchebag just said if you're going to act like a kid. So putting on costumes and weaponry and trolling the roads and looking for blinky lights so you can escalate violence and kidnap people is not acting like a child. But trying to get home in your private vehicle is acting like a child, and standing on your constitutional rights is acting like a child. Right, you stupid coward pig? You're such a loser, dude. Well, you go play some Call of Duty, man. What a loser.
Get out of the car.
I'm a citizen
Get
without
out of the
any
car.
rights, obviously. Then we can yank out of the car. For a seatbelt? If my phone gets broken, I'm suing the shit out of you, too. Oh, take the phone, of course, because you know what?
Hey, stop.
You want your
They took her phone and threw it in the snow.
evidence? Give me my phone back. Oh my god, it's okay, thanks. Now you guys owe me a phone, too.
No, we don't.
Three cops can barely subdue a female who's not even resisting. And she says, you're going to pay for it. And right away, she goes, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're not going to pay for your phone. We don't care about you. We're protected class. We're sovereign citizens. Hello.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, you need to throw my phone for what?
Stop
For
resisting.
what? Why did you throw my phone? For a seatbelt?
Because you're not.
Where do you see resisting? 3 cops are mauling her. And she's resisting. Dude, you're a vagina, bro.
Just
Flying.
for a seatbelt?
Yes.
This is the treatment I get for a seatbelt.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
you're fucking gonna break my.
Of course this is the treatment you get for a seatbelt. We are Blue ISIS. We escalate violence. You comply, obey, and comply immediately, or we use violence against you. Of course. Hello? Where have you been? Do you think this is America? You think the Constitution still applies to the police? Hello?
Arm, let go of my fucking arm. I'm not, but you're twisting my fucking arm up so hard that it fucking hurts.
Does you keep resisting?
No, I'm not. I'm standing here still.
Just relax.
How is this resisting?
Has anyone seen her resist in any real way? Or do you hear a bunch of coward cop-splainers?
Chill out.
I'm relaxed, but my arms are being pulled up beyond what they need to be pulled up.
Because you're not relaxing.
I can't relax with my arms being yanked up like that. What do you want me to do?
Yes, you can. Relax. That's all you have to do is
Do I feel
relax.
safe with.
Just relax. I mean, what's wrong with you? I mean, you trying to get home without being manhandled by 6, 7, 8 cops? These cops are the lowest of the low of the low. This is, and they walk around and they record themselves doing this stuff as if it's justified in any moral sense, in any human sense. Oh, they're just humans too. You see them acting like humans in this video?
Shooting guns around me right now? Like attacking me with a seatbelt? No.
I know, but
So I'm supposed to feel safe right now?
What do you got?
I am.
So we pulled him over for failure to signal.
Seatbelt.
Feel safe driving without a seatbelt?
We impeded his Fourth Amendment right because of a blinky light.
I wasn't driving. I wasn't driving, and we just pulled up here. Oh yeah, around the corner. I felt safe.
He's suspended.
That we would get
So he
to the
refused
corner
to
just fine.
identify himself.
insurance. Or are we gonna have to go through
So refused to identify himself. So we pulled him out.
Do you have an idea?
She wasn't wearing a seatbelt. She refused to identify
Liar.
herself,
You have like a bank card.
saying she doesn't have to, anything like that. So we pulled her out, and now we're
Look at the stupid smirk on this guy's face. Well, I sure hope you roughed her up then. Ugh, nice hook nose, bitch.
with her. So everybody's refusing to identify them.
Resisting and
The entire time that I walked up beside the vehicle, she had her seatbelt off. So
Liar. He doesn't know whether she had it on or not. That's a complete lie. Because that's the only reason he can find to justify getting to violate her Fourth Amendment right. So he made it up. They can just make up anything, people. The Constitution is gone when it comes to traffic code. When you're in your car. Dude, it would take a mass movement of people unregistering their cars and just flood the roads with no license plates and no licenses. They can't enforce it. If the people want it, if you want freedom, you have to take it. And again, I'm being a hypocrite right now because I need to be able to move around with unmolested, and unfortunately, gunmen won't let me unless I have a slave card. This is your new America.
the other one.
if that is Lauren, she's got a warrant.
Please just calm down. What's your name? I understand you're frustrated. I understand Josh
This
is
is
frustrated.
harassment though, because all
No,
you're doing
Listen,
is pulling
I understand
up
you.
to a
I
house.
understand you feel that way. But the
Well,
officers
why
are
are we being harassed,
trying to
though?
explain to you what's going on, but you won't calm down long enough for them.
Okay, well,
Can I explain it to you?
Yeah, I would.
Okay,
Give me an
listen.
explanation.
Okay, we were behind you. He failed to signal at the stop sign.
Can I explain this to you? Your blinky light is why you don't have a Fourth Amendment right now.
He failed to signal when he pulled over. That's an infraction. If you're pulled over, listen.
That's an infraction. Hello? You think the Constitution supersedes traffic code? Who do you think you are? Criminal?
Let me finish. If you're pulled over, you're required to provide your driver's license. All right. I walked up to the passenger side of the vehicle. You were not wearing a seatbelt. Okay.
That's after we
You're
already
also
Liar, and she just said it was after she stopped, she took it off. So you're lying.
We're here.
You're also required to provide identification.
For what? I wasn't
Okay.
in.
Because you're not wearing a seatbelt. Doesn't matter. You're not wearing a seatbelt.
So I have to have identification for not wearing a seatbelt.
Yes, because that's an
But I took
infraction.
it off because
You're
we were
required
close
to
enough to the house
identify
where
yourself.
I felt it was okay to take it off. We're gonna get out.
Okay, that's
And
besides the point.
Okay, well that
Okay,
is not.
you're
It's beside the point that the vehicle was stopped and you took your seatbelt off. When are you allowed to take it off? After you get in the house?
required to identify yourself.
I'm required to identify myself or provide an ID. Because I can identify myself.
Either would have been fine.
But you wanted my driver's license.
Okay, but why couldn't you
That's
just
what I
say,
was asked for.
okay, but why didn't you say, I don't have my ID, but here's my name. Here's my date of birth.
You said I want your driver's license.
Okay.
Specifically,
Yeah, but now we're getting petty with it, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm ending the video here. I'm not going to do a two-parter. Half hour's enough. Go to Horizon City News Service if you want to see the rest. I'm pretty sure they both got arrested, and I'm going to call this girl right here that's in the video soon. And I'm going to try to catch up with all these videos. I'm way behind. This is harder than it looks, people, especially if you have a life outside of YouTube. I mean, I have some semblance of a life outside of YouTube. It's not the greatest, but I enjoy it. So, I'm sorry this happened to you guys. This should be a good tutorial of, if you, again, you give them an inch, they take a mile. First thing they want is all the windows down, which in Florida, you're not required to do. All you're required to do is display your license, insurance, and registration in Florida, which can be done with the window rolled all the way up, and they can put their little blinky light extortion ticket underneath your windshield wiper, because you don't have to sign if it's not mandatory court appearance. Let's retrain the cops, at least in Florida. I know that to be for a fact. And then if you go to fairdui.org, you can see how you can protect yourself from stuff like this happening in your state. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please go to my Etsy store. There's cursing in this video. They're not going to let me monetize it. The only ones they let me monetize are the ones I do in the backyard and the ones I do in Woody's shop and the butterfly videos I make and the stuff that's not as good as this, but it really helps support me. So if you wouldn't mind watching some of my other less cop-related stuff, I'd appreciate it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye, peace, and chicken grease. Bye.